there a reason why you're driving like that, sir?
Driving like what?
What do you mean? You're driving recklessly, like peeling out and like driving high speeds through all these little back streets like this. Coquina Key's that way.
What, is illegal to drive around my city?
To drive around recklessly, yes.
I'm not gonna do this with you, bro. I ain't did nothing, bro. I'm not doing nothing. I'm not no criminal.
Yes, baby.
Okay. I need the insurance, Joy.
Which one?
For the gray Benz. I honestly didn't recognize what you're saying, like by me driving. I don't even remember, because I'm just driving, bro. Bro, why you harassing me?
I'm not harassing you. You're driving recklessly. You're causing, you're making a hazard to the community. You can't drive like that. What if you hit somebody?
Where you from? This is my community. This is where you work.
That's where you drive around.
So this is where I'm from. This is my community. Right. Walk up and down these streets, boy. Raise up.
You're getting a citation for. Can you put that down so I can talk?
Oh yes, sir.
Hey, it's Rod Wave.
In Street Petersburg, Florida, an officer with the St. Petersburg Police Department observed a gray Mercedes running stop signs, cutting off other drivers, and accelerating at dangerously high speeds through residential back streets. The vehicle initially fled the area but was later relocated by responding officers. The driver was identified as nationally recognized rapper Rod Wave, whose legal name is Rodarius Marcell Green, and the traffic stop began. The officer approached the vehicle and requested a driver's license and proof of insurance. Under Florida Statute Section 316.6155, operators are required to display their license and registration upon any lawful demand by law enforcement. Under Florida Statute Section 316.192, reckless driving means operating a vehicle with willful or wanton disregard for the safety of persons or property. A criminal misdemeanor, not a civil infraction. A first offense under this statute carries a fine of up to $500 and up to 90 days in county jail. The officer's specific observations, peeling out high speeds through back streets, established probable cause.
Please find out my 10-4 man.
Good evening. Officer Spagnol, St. Petersburg Police. Do you have your driver's license, sir?
Why you stop?
Reckless driving, sir.
Who reckless driving?
You. Rodarius Green. You have registration insurance? You got your insurance?
On my phone.
Okay. Is there a reason why you're driving like that, sir?
Driving like what?
What do you mean? You're driving recklessly, like peeling out and like driving high speeds through all these little back streets like this.
When?
Where are you coming from?
Coming from, giving out shoes, passing out shoes.
Yeah, but where are you coming from right now?
Coming from Coquina Key.
Coquina Key? You just pulled out of the street over here.
What?
Coquina Key's that way.
What, is illegal to drive around my city?
To drive around recklessly, yes.
I'm not driving recklessly, though.
You were. I observed you driving recklessly.
I'm not gonna do this with you, bro. I ain't did nothing, bro. I'm not doing nothing. I'm not no criminal.
I'm saying that you're driving recklessly. I didn't call you a criminal.
I'm saying, but you saying I'm driving recklessly. I'm not driving recklessly.
I saw you pull out off on OK. I tried to get behind you, and you just took off.
Rod Wave denied remembering his driving behavior. The officer cited witnessing the vehicle on Martin Luther King Jr. Street before it accelerated and changed direction based entirely on direct personal observation. Under Terry v. Ohio, an officer's personal observation of unlawful conduct is sufficient to establish probable cause for a stop. This was not a tip or anonymous report. The officer witnessed the behavior himself. A second officer arrived on scene. The primary officer noted the driver was Rod Wave. Notably, the celebrity identification did not alter procedure. The stop continued as a standard reckless driving investigation without special treatment. The second officer engaged Rod Wave in a calm, professional conversation, encouraging cooperation. This reflects National Institute of Justice best practice. Verbal de-escalation to reduce tension rather than issue confrontational commands. The officer clarified, the citation being issued was criminal, not a standard traffic ticket. Florida Statute 316.192 covers criminal reckless driving while Statute 316.1925 covers careless driving as a civil infraction only. The criminal provision requires a mandatory court appearance rather than simply paying a fine. Rodwave pushed back, invoking his community ties as justification. The officer acknowledged the sentiment but held firm on the citation. Under Florida Rules of Criminal Procedure Rule 3.125, a criminal traffic citation must include the defendant's name, address, violation charged, and court date. Instructions, all of which the officer correctly executed here. The officer returned the license, registration, and criminal citation. He clearly advised that the court would mail a court date to the confirmed address, and that failure to appear would result in a warrant for arrest. Rodwave was issued a criminal citation for reckless driving under Florida Statute 316.192. At the time of this analysis, the final court disposition remains unconfirmed through available public records or court filings. Officer Adams receives a B+. The stop rested on personally observed probable cause. He correctly identified the criminal statute, executed citation procedure properly, and closed the stop without resorting to unnecessary escalation. However, candid commentary audible as the officer returned to his vehicle reflects a lapse in professional discipline. Multiple insurance documentation requests also suggested room for improved efficiency in the field. Rodwave receives a C+. He complied with document requests, did not physically resist, and engaged constructively with the second officer choices that prevented a routine stop from escalating into a more serious use of force situation. However, Rodwave repeatedly denied conduct the officer directly witnessed, framed a lawful stop as harassment, and cited community ties as justification for driving behavior, none of which constitute a legal defense in Florida.
You tried to get behind me?
Yeah, I tried to get behind you, yeah.
When you tried to get
off
behind
MLK,
me?
and then you went took off.
Bro, I didn't even see you till you just hit the lights.
All right, keep looking for that driver's license or that insurance. What's up?
Everything good?
Yeah, I'm doing a traffic stop. You need some help?
No, I'm allowed to see you. I'm just sitting here.
Okay. All right.
I ain't doing nothing.
Here we go, yeah. Don't engage with these people, okay?
Yep.
Hey, hey. It's Rodwave.
Have a good day. You got the insurance? Send it to me. Oh, it's in here? I just gave it to him. No, I just gave it to him.
Wait, you said you gave him the insurance already, or?
No, I'm looking for it. He's saying it's in here.
Checking the book, in that little book.
Man, he's got so many of these shit. I know it.
There's not, I don't see nothing else in there.
Hey, just send me the screenshot. Show your answer.
Hey, you guys need to get out of the ribbon of the road. Be blocking traffic this morning.
Nah, he's just saying like for her to move over a little bit. All right, never mind. Okay. Nah, I was just telling you that he was trying to. All right.
You guys need to move your cars. My car is banned. You're moving on the roadway.
What's up? Oh.
Mr. Green, we'll be able to pull up the insurance?
Yeah, I'm doing it now.
Yes, baby.
I need the insurance, Auntie Joy,
Which one?
for the gray Benz that we got from Jupiter. Yeah, please.
Mr. Green, can I talk to you for a second?
Yeah.
All right. You're on the phone.
All right, just send it to me. I need it because I'm pulled over.
10-4, thank you. Level with me, okay? It was a regular traffic stop, all right?
Yeah.
I want to understand why it is that you were driving that way. It's not a big deal. You're, you know,
I honestly didn't. I really didn't recognize what you're saying, like by me driving. Like if I drive, I'm not purposely driving reckless.
You weren't purpose? Okay, so let me tell you something. I saw you over MLK. Okay.
I don't even remember because I'm just driving, bro.
No, you're not just driving
I
because
got a truck.
guess what? They're all following you, and you took off on them. You saw me, and you took off. Yes, and you went that way. And you came over here, and you went up.
I saw you, bro.
So where did you just pull off from right now?
How you finna tell me I saw you though?
All right.
You the one just told me you seen me pull off MLK.
Okay. So right now, where'd you pull out of?
You said MLK.
Where did you pull out of? Right now.
I guess MLK. That's what you said.
All right. So you want to play games?
Bro, why you harassing me?
I'm not harassing you. You're driving recklessly. You're causing. You're making a hazard to the community. You can't drive like that. What if you hit somebody?
Where you from? This is my community. This is where you work.
And that's where you drive around.
So this is where I'm from. This is my community.
All right. Hang tight. I'll be right back with your citation. And let me know when you get your insurance.
Yeah, all right. What you talking about community? Bitch, this is my community. Walk up and down these streets, boy. Raise him. Ride around giving away Jordan. What you talking about your community? Won't you put your ass back across the bridge where you live at? Fuck wrong with you? I'm out community. Like you protect the community. Bitch, I'm out here giving back to the community. What are you talking about? You the one harassing the young nigga every time I come back here.
All right.
Fuck you talking about harassing the community? I want to see y'all want to get locked up so bad. Bitch, I ain't never going back. I don't do nothing illegal. Sunday car.
You got the I hear you. You got the insurance or? I mean,
that's my Sunday car.
That's for this car, right?
Yes.
So all right. So when he comes back, just show him that. All right. But at this point, you know what I mean. Just hang tight and just you know what I mean. He gonna finish what he has to do. You know what I mean. But then you move on. All right. Just so nothing so you don't like anger anybody or he doesn't anger you. You know what I mean. Just listen to what he says. You know what I mean. Just.
Yeah, but we all human, bro.
Nah, I hear you.
That's y'all job, bro.
I hear you.
Human with a job too.
Yeah, just like we got a job, you got a job.
The key lesson here, reckless driving under Florida Statute 316.192 is a criminal charge, not a traffic ticket. Drivers must understand this distinction. A court appearance is mandatory, and missing it triggers an arrest warrant. A second lesson, celebrity status carries no legal weight during a traffic stop. Under Warren versus United States, probable cause stands on observed violations. Alone, the identity of the driver is legally irrelevant. A third lesson, de-escalation works both ways. The second officer's calm approach helped resolve the encounter professionally. Drivers who match that tone give themselves the strongest legal position if the matter ever reaches court.
I hear you, yeah. Yep. So just show him the insurance, all right?
Mr. Green.
On my insurance right here, officer.
Perfect. All right, listen. I have a Trout address and I also have a Pinellas Drive address. On the citation, it says the Pinellas Drive address. Is that a correct address for you?
Yes, sir.
All right. So they're gonna mail. You need to get out of the road.
I got no power.
You need to get out of the road.
Come on, Mom.
You need to get out of the road.
Listen, I ain't gotta listen to you. Yeah, I'm good.
What's the phone number for you then?
727.
All right, and the Pinellas Drive address is good?
Yes, sir.
All right. Here's your driver's license, sir.
Appreciate that.
Here's your registration.
Okay.
And here's your copy of the citation.
Okay.
You're getting a citation for... Can you put that down so I can talk?
Oh, yes, sir.
Here's your copy of the citation. You're getting issued a citation for reckless driving. It's a criminal citation. There's no fine associated with it, but there is a court date.
Okay.
I confirmed your address because the court's going to mail you something out there for the correct court date. Make sure you don't miss your court date or else you have a warrant for your arrest.
All right, good.
And you just sign right here.
It's got a court date on it?
No, I just told you. It's called a court. They're going to mail you a court date. All right?
Yes, sir.
All right. Make sure you slow down. You got the stick, bro? Oh, okay. Traffic stop over. Turn your camera off.
Let us know if there is an interaction or legal topic you would like us to cover in the comments below. Your suggestions help shape future episodes and keep this analysis grounded in real cases. Thank you for watching today's video. If you found this content informative or compelling, please take a moment to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you will be the first to know when we release new uploads. There is a lot more on the way. Our channel is dedicated to bringing you the most fascinating police interactions, courtroom proceedings, and real-world legal moments. We appreciate your support, and we will see you in the next one.